It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Boundary Brewery, or Boundary Brewing Cooperative. They're a group of people who all own the brewery. They've all got their kind of collective thinking going on, and they're producing great beer. When you get a group of people together and you decide to open a brewery or take over a football club in some lower league cases, and it becomes a cooperative, generally the people who take it over have the best interest for that football club or that brewery at heart. And this is what I love about this brewery, Boundary Brewery, or Boundary Brewing. I'm quite confident that because it's owned by the people who love to drink beer, the people who, the community, then as good as this brewery can become, it will never be bought out by Heineken or Carlsberg or, AB InBev type of thing. They will always be a cooperative. They will always be independent. This is a can of this Skipper and Orla. It's a barrel age quadruple. It's 11.9% ABV in a 440 milliliter can. Look at that. Beer is better when shared, and that's their slogan. They're based in Northern Ireland, and this was sent to me by the wonderful Ben in Northern Ireland. So without further ado, let's get this beer out into a glass and see what we get. Barrel aged quad. I'm wondering if I've ever had a barrel aged quad in a 440 milliliter can before. Normally these styles of beers are reserved for, a lovely Belgian style bottle, It's quite, I nearly used the word hissy and fizzy. It's not hissy and fizzy in terms of kind of like raging carbonation, but when you get a beer at that high ABV, more or less, we're talking 12% ABV here, aren't we? Let's 11.9%, 12% ABV. You're never going to hold a head. You're never going to hold a head on a beer at that ABV. It was probably the case of me giving it a bit of a heavy pour, and it created that head, and then that head, you heard it for yourselves, it dissipated rather quickly. So we got slow moving carbonation on the beer. It's very dark looking, very moody and barrel aged and quad like, Mysterious is probably the word. A little bit of alcohol legs as you roll that beer around. Let's get the aroma. Whoa, yeah. There's some licorice in there. There's some plum. There's some fig. There's some prune. There's some vanilla. There's a little bit of coconut. This is just smelling divine. It's almost slightly confusing though, because again, I'm going to say it again. Of course, they probably fitted a canning line to the brewery, and they probably put everything in a can. Totally understand that. But it's kind of strange. It really is a 440 milliliter can with a Belgian quad in it. I mean, it's an interesting thing to do, isn't it? I like it. I like the thought. I like being challenged. I like being challenged. I like the thought of, it's not in a little Belgian stumpy bottle. It's in a 440 can. Does it matter? Let's find out. Oh, wow. Oh, oh. Ooh. That is stunning. Absolutely stunning. It starts off a bit red wine like. It's like, big, plummy, vinous, red wine, plums, figs, prunes, raisins. Oh, it's amazing. You can feel the warmth as the beer slides down into the pit of the stomach there. You can feel that more or less 12% ABV beer slide down. It's a little bit viscous, it's a little bit thick in terms of the amount of malt that they would have used to produce the beer. That barrel aging is coming through, it's vanilla-like, it's woody. Wow, 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 what a beer. Oh, pardon me. And it's carbonated as well. Pardon me. It's a little hissy and fizzy and carbonated on the tongue. Dreamlike. I feel like I can't see myself. I don't have a viewfinder on the camera I'm using here, but I can almost see. I can feel my eyes. They're half open. It's like, oof, I'm in dreamland. You know, when you've just had a massage or something like that, and your eyes are like, ooh, you know, they're all half open, and you're feeling really relaxed. That's exactly what this beer's done to me. I feel really relaxed and lovely, and sit me in an armchair. I mean, ideally, I would love to be next to the fire with this beer. Roaring fire on a cold winter's night. Ideally, I'm standing here drinking this on a 30-degree summer's day here in the UK. But that's okay. Of course, that's okay. I mean, I could have held on to it for a few months, but to be honest with you, I wanted to get the beer out for Ben. I wanted to get it reviewed for him. He was kind enough to send it to me. Would the beer have changed? Would it have changed if I waited to sit next to the fire? I think it's that age-old question of mood. There's nothing quite like drinking a cold San Miguel next to a swimming pool in Spain. It just seems to fit. Exactly the same situation with Imperial Stouts and barrel-aged quads. They're kind of normally reserved for the colder winter months where you've got the fire roaring, you know, the beer's warming you from the inside out, and you almost drinking away the terribleness of a cold winter type of thing, you know. It's quite nice in the sun. It's quite nice in the sun. It's just probably a case of, if my eyes are half open now, let me finish this off underneath the parasol in the garden, and I'll probably fall asleep in a deck chair type of thing, you know. But it's super. It's licoricey, toffee, plum, fig, prune, great mouthfeel, great carbonation. Barrel aged, you get the woodiness from the barrel. It's just a real on point. Like, I'm going to go back to my first point here where I said about it being really vinous, really kind of red wine like when you're first tasting the beer. Amazing. Right, this is a Belgian quad, aged in Calvados brandy barrels. There we go. We've released it to celebrate our new taproom opening and as a thank you to our favourite people. Well, Boundary Brewing Company, Boundary Brewing Co-op, if you're watching this, I want to come over to your taproom and I want to kind of film the tap room and film the brewery, and maybe we have a few beers together and have some fun. Because this beer from you guys, Boundary Brewing Company, you are absolutely smashing it at the moment. Absolutely smashing it. It's probably up there with the best beer to come out of Ireland. Really good stuff. I like this beer. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Great look. See the alcohol legs there on the glass. Great aroma. Great taste. That is a Stone the Crows 10 out of 10. In fact, I'm thinking about that kind of... Did they say brandy or sherry? I think they said brandy, didn't they? Brandy barrels. You definitely get that kind of brandy-ish oakiness coming through from the barrel. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.